our next story is talking about coronavirus stocks. Drug maker Moderna delivers first experimental coronavirus vaccine for human testing. That is huge, and if you've been watching this stock has been rocking and rolling. Clinical trial is expected to start in April, all right, as epidemic originating in China spurs quick response. You know what else happened with Moderna as well? How about just a couple of days ago, it beat earnings. Moderna was up 17% on February 26th, which is that yesterday? Today's 27th. This was yesterday on quarter four results. They beat revenues, collaboration, 14.7 collaboration revenue, there it is. They were looking at being down 67%. Even though they were down, they were still higher than they anticipated. Net loss, 2020 guidance, net cash used in operating activities and for purchases of property and equipment, $490 million to $510 million. Listen, all I know is it beat and it went up. We're going to get into that in a second. Another stock in that field is Gilead. Now, right along with Moderna, Gilead initiates two phase 3 studies for coronavirus. So two stocks at the top are out there rocking and rolling, putting in the work to get a cure for the coronavirus. And I'm going to talk about that in a second. I'll come back to that story. All right, so let's talk about those two stocks. And because you are here in Trending Thursday, I am going to show you or give you access or show you a coronavirus watch list that I've created for you guys. So let's go back into the software. The two stocks that I just talked about were Gilead and Moderna. Let's analyze them real quick. Gilead, slightly overvalued. Moderna, way overvalued. Now, another thing, these stocks, by way of fundamentals, RV and RS, are not fundamentally sound. And that tends to happen with the majority of the pharmaceutical companies that are out there. They put so much money into research and development, and they don't always get it all back because sometimes the FDA says, no, this is not ready, you can't send it, and they just spent all of that money. So a lot of the pharmaceutical companies will normally have earnings growth rates at a negative clip. All right, they won't tend to grow their earnings. But what is happening is that indicator RT is telling me that they're both up in uptrends right now. Gilead is a buy, while Moderna or MRNA is a hold. Let's take a look at these both stocks on a graph. Move this over. There's Gilead. Gilead took a big hit today. Gilead took, even with the news that they're going out to the FDA with two phase 3 trials. Let's take off the last close. Gilead got hurt. But from last week, when we talked about Gilead, it was on the rise. Today, with the news, and it's interesting that even with the news, that it fell as hard as it did. The stock is still a buy recommendation. I don't like the earnings per share, but most likely I won't like the earnings per share when it comes down to pharmaceuticals. Really what I need to know is what's going on in the news and looking at things like the 3 and the 8. The 3 and the 8 are still good on it. Notice that the 3 and the 8 are good even on the pullbacks, which is why I really love the 3 and the 8 to keep me from ever panicking on any stock. Let's go look at MRNA. That was a stock gapped up, pulled back. Now, what's a lot of this pullback on both of these stocks? Anybody want to put out in the room what it is? A lot of that is profit taking. A lot of that is profit taking. All right, so right now, what am I looking for before I jump on board with them? I definitely want to make sure that they take out their highs before I jump on board. The 3 and the 8 is still good on Gilead. I need the stock to move higher. The 3 and the 8 on MRNA are still good. I need it to move higher. But neither one of them have really good earnings. So these are not solid fundamental plays. These are trades. And for the most part, watch this. I've got that watch list for you. Let's go look at a whole listing of Corona stocks right here. You guys do not have this, but you can go out to the internet and Google coronavirus stocks, and you can build your own watch list just like I have right here. I've got 27 stocks in here. I've sorted the list so that I can find which ones are moving up the most. So I'm looking at percent price change. How about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these stocks are in double-digit gains today. So you know the cool thing about this, knowing that coronavirus is such a big story, How about you look at these stocks, put them in a graph, and you can time when to get into them, especially because you know that they are trades, they are not longer term holds. But if you could make half of the moves on these, you'd be a happy individual, wouldn't you? All right, so a good way to get this listing of coronavirus stocks is to go out, Google coronavirus stocks, build your watch list. Right now, I currently have 27. Now, if I am looking for a stock in the coronavirus field to look at the hold long term, let's sort this list by relative value. The same 27 stocks. How about BIIB? It's got a really good chance to outperform a AAA corporate bond. Number one. How about the relative safety above 1? The only thing that's hurting BIIB right now is that it's going down in price. But fundamentally, in this space, BIIB is a fundamentally sound stock with an earnings growth rate of 17%. Also, AbbVie, undervalued. Both of these stocks are undervalued, which is hard to find, especially in this field. And good upside potential, good safety, hold recommendation, grows its earnings by 13% a year. And I can go down this list. Let's see which ones have go up more than they go down. Let's talk about Comfort Index, or CI. The stock's ability to withstand long or lengthy price declines. I can take these same 27 stocks, use the power of the VectorVest software to hone in on what I want. So I know that Beyond Air goes up more than it goes down. It is less susceptible to a big pullback in price. That's what that indicator CI will do for you. Followed by Solengenex. See, a lot of these stocks you don't even know about. So guess what? We get to introduce you by way of this watch list, by way of what's going on with the coronavirus, we introduce you to stocks that you didn't even know about. But that goes by sorting or force ranking by our indicators that you don't have anyplace else but in VectorVest. That's the power of what you need to stay ahead of the curve and be a part of what's trending today. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Now, if you're new to the software or would like refresher information about the software, click on this Getting Started video right here. Thanks to all of your input, here's a YouTube video that we think would be perfect for you. Click right here. If nothing else, folks, just hit the subscribe button right here.